Alrighty, here we are. How's everyone doing today? Let's see, who's in the chat? Alright, hi V! Welcome. It's always great to have you in the chats here. And, yeah, I'm pretty excited for this one. This wasn't my original plan, but this was the fastest substitution I could think of on such, like, late notice. But, hi Ari, I see you as well. Welcome. And also, I just gotta say, this soundtrack, it slaps. It's really good. It's a great combination for, like, the Ace Attorney Danganronpa music. Like, the intro stuff. So that's pretty cool. But, with that, I don't really know, how long this is supposed to be. I'm gonna estimate, like, an hour and a half, 2 hours. But, I'm looking forward to this. And, I don't know if anyone else has played this. This is the first time I'm playing this, going in very blind. So, if I get stuck on anything at any point, then I apologize in advance. That's all I wanted to say. But, let's get started. If it'll let me. There we go. And the game. Let me know how the audio sounds, by the way. If it's too loud or too quiet, just let me know and I'll fix it. I already said I cannot do that. What a shame. I didn't want to have to resort to this, however. Hey, what are you... Oh, someone's dead. Wow, okay then. And this is why we always have a plan B. But just like all my other plans, it's going to go perfectly. Oh, yikes. The Danganronpa style of body discovery. That was fun. Episode 1, The Unlucky Turnabout. Yeah, I already have a feeling I know what this is gonna be about. January 14th, 9:42 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 5. Okay. Man, what a night. I hardly slept a wink. Hey, Mr. Wright, there you are. Oh, Kamaru, hey. I was worried for a minute that you weren't going to make it. Huh? No way! I'd never miss my brother's trial! I just got a little lost trying to find the right lobby. This place is so big, way bigger than my plain old high school. This is Komaru Naegi, the girl who burst into my office 10 minutes before closing to ask me to take her case. Well, technically not her case. Her older brother was arrested for murder, and I suppose she heard of me and asked for help. Although, it was less like asking and more like refusing to leave until I agreed. I admit, I was a little hesitant at first. But after hearing how passionately she insisted that her brother was innocent, I couldn't refuse. And my name's Phoenix Wright. I'm a defense attorney, and I run a small law office. I'll be leading the defense on this case. Oh, yeah, I think that they have the artists rig them. I did see a bunch of credit for, like, the artists and whatnot that have helped with this project, so it's definitely possible that one of them has the skills to do this, which, that's awesome in itself. Really, really good quality stuff here so far. Is your brother here yet? Yeah, I saw them leading him inside, but they wouldn't let me talk to him. That makes sense. You're not exactly an attorney. I guess. But it's just not right! My brother would never do something like this. You have to help him, Mr. Wright. We may not always get along, but I know he's not a killer. I'll do my best, I promise. That's what we defense attorneys are here for. To protect innocent people from injustice. Thank you so much. I don't know what I'd do if you hadn't agreed to help. What do you mean? Aren't there other attorneys who would take the case? Well, I tried. I tried a lot, but they all turned me down. What? Why? And so much for me being her first pick. Not many lawyers want to risk being associated with this case. If they lose, it'll be all over the news. Because of the defendant. Yeah. That's right. Kamaru's brother goes to Hope's Peak Academy. To put it simply, it's this really fancy school that takes talented teenagers from all over the world. And invites them to attend and hone their skills through their program. Sounds a bit like overkill to me, but whatever floats their boat. He's just so nonchalant about this. It's good to see that. It's kind of refreshing with these types of games. I did a lot of research last night on the school. Turns out there's even forums online about it. Hope's Peak is funded by the government, and if you graduate, you're pretty much set for life. You can't apply for anything though, at least not to the main program. They scout out the students themselves. And they've apparently been creating top-of-the-line ultimates for generations. After looking it up, I found that ultimates is a term used to describe what each student hones. In one class alone, they have the ultimate baseball star. Leon! The ultimate biker gang leader. And even the ultimate fashionista, which we all know what's happened, but we're not gonna talk about that. And that's just the start of it. It seems like you could go to this school for almost anything, as long as you were the very best in it. Hope's Peak boasts that their students will graduate to be the hope of the world. So I guess that's where the name comes from. And Kamaru's brother is a student at that school. So, needless to say, this case will be the talk of the town for a while. No pressure. Well, we have a little more time before the trial. I guess I should try and talk to Kamaru some more. Yeah, that's a good idea. Alright, sure. Yeah, what info do you got for me? So, Kamaru, you don't go to Hope's Peak like your brother, right? No, I don't. I'm just his normal little sister. Hey, there's nothing wrong with being normal, you know. I guess. I suppose it'll take more than an encouraging line to change your mind. Alright, and then let's see. And how do I go down? This is... Okay, there we go. There we go. The controls is one thing I did not know yet. So, whoops. Yeah, I was just thinking that. It's a really good mix. And that's why I'm excited to future releases for this game. Kamaru, what do you know about the case so far? Well, my brother was arrested last night, and no one in my family knew what to do. We tried contacting other lawyers, but... They all turned you down? Right. I was desperate, and when I heard about you, I knew I had to try. Even if it meant going all the way to your office in the snow. Yeah, to be honest... I thought you were a little crazy at first, when you pounded on the door right before we closed. Desperation. Desperate times call for desperate measures, or whatever that saying is. I actually thought she was a robber, but she doesn't know... But she doesn't need to know that. Fair. I'm sorry, I just didn't know what else to do. But I couldn't let them assign some random attorney to this case. Because of the defendant. Exactly. Alright, and then... The defendant. The defendant is your brother, right? That's right, Makoto Naegi. Makoto. He goes to Hope's Peak as an ultimate, right? Yeah, way cooler than my boring old high school. I don't know, I'd take a normal school over a murder accusation any day. True. Very true words. But Mr. Wright, he didn't do it! After seeing your belief in him, I agree. The hard part is proving it. But don't worry, Kamaru. I'm sure we'll be able to get your brother off the hook. Yeah, I believe in you, Mr. Wright. Now, let's get inside. We? Of course. Not to be rude, but do you have any experience with a courtroom? Like, at all? Well, no, but that's what you're here for. At least she's honest, guys. You can teach me everything I need to know. My mom says I'm a great listener. Well, except for when she tells me to clean my room. I was gonna say, are you sure about that? I'm not sure about this. Please, Mr. Wright. Please let me do this. I never really make my own decisions. I just go along with what other people say most of the time. But seeing Makoto get arrested and taken away, it gave me strength. The strength to make a choice, and my choice is to defend him. I want to do everything I can, even if it's not much. So, I'm not going to just sit in the gallery while my brother is accused of murder. Please, let me make this choice. Wow, that was quite a speech. And I can't pretend like I don't understand how she's feeling, so. Alright, you can come. Really? Oh, thank you! Thank you! Now, come on! We can't be late for the trial! Here we go. Alright, here we go. Day 1. Court's in session. Court is now in session for the trial of Makoto Naegi. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Not this guy! The prosecution is also ready, Your Honor. Do I know you? Of course you do! I'm Winston Payne, nemesis of Phoenix Wright. Incompetent prosecutor! That's funny. Oh, Winston. Now I remember. And I think a certain someone else holds that title. I thought I'd be facing off against Gaspin today. Ah, yes. My little brother is off in a foreign country at the moment. So, at long last, bitter courtroom rivals Phoenix Wright and Winston Payne face off again! Mr. Wright, is this guy really your rival? If by rival you mean mild annoyance. Sheesh! Now, will the accused please take the stand? He looks so sad! Makoto Naegi, Kamaru's brother, and the defendant in this case. According to my notes, he's in the 78th class of Hope's Peak as the ultimate lucky student. How fun. Which we already knew that, but you know. Although, if you ask me, maybe they should revoke that title considering he got caught up in a murder. Mr. Payne, your opening statement, please. Of course, Your Honor. The victim in this case was Mr. Poe Stuffface, a mailman. I could not read that name. I am so sorry. His body was found in an alley yesterday when a passerby happened to notice the gruesome scene. I would now like to submit the victim's autopsy report, as well as a photograph the police took of the crime scene. Very well. The court accepts these as evidence. Blunt force trauma between 4 and 6. Okay. Crime scene photo too. Alright. Mr. Wright, what are you doing? I'm collecting information relevant to the case in the court record. I can check it anytime by pressing the button in the top right corner, the tab key, or the right bumper. Oh, can I? Oh, sick. And then, I'm assuming... Oh, okay. I see. Wait, that one poster. I can see Kokichi. I had a really bad brain fart for a second, but, that's so funny. But, I can't even remember how to back out of this. Can you let me back out? Alright, I need to find the button to back out of this. I just needed to see this up close. Or maybe can I click there? There we go. Yeah, never mind. And then this. Alright, there we go. And I can see these too. Okay, interesting. The victim in this case, a mailman who was murdered in an alleyway. The defendant in this case, known as the ultimate lucky student, Kamara's older brother. The prosecuting attorney, even after all these years, he still lacks presence. Yeah, always has. And then Kamaru, a high school girl and the younger sister of the defendant, asked me to defend her brother in court. Okay. There we go. Oh, so that's what all those papers and folders are for. Yep. It's a little disorganized, but I manage. Oh, I have just the thing then. Huh? What is this thing? It's a monopad. Of course. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? Okay, thank you for breaking that down for me, V. Hold on, can I actually save? Yeah, I think I'm gonna save. It's better to save than to not, I think. Oh wait, no. Can I please exit? There we go. I almost clicked the wrong thing, but we're all good. They give one to every student at Hope's Peak to help them keep track of their assignments. Then why do you have one? You told me you go to a regular high school. Oh, well, I may have borrowed it from Makoto's room. Sounds more like stealing to me. Hey, don't look at me like that! He doesn't need it right now, and I'll pay it back as soon as this is all over. Besides, he takes stuff from my room all the time, too. Okay, yeah, that sounds like typical sibling stuff. So, how does it work? You can scan and upload your evidence right into the tablet. It's got a whole bunch of other cool features too, but I don't know how they work yet. I don't know. I'm not exactly the best with computers and stuff. Oh, don't worry, Mr. Wright. Even a baby could figure it out. Gee, thanks. Alright, a school-issued tablet taken by the defendant's sister from his room. Contains all of my evidence for this case. Okay, cool. Defendant, could you please tell the court what happened yesterday? Well, it didn't exactly start out great. Yeah, I can tell. I slept through my alarm, so I was almost late for school. I really had to scramble to get ready. Huh? Makoto glanced over at us. That's a bit odd. I wonder why. But I just made it. I spent most of the day at school. After that, I just walked home. And was there anything out of the ordinary on the way? No, I just took my usual route back.
Hold it!
Does this route pass by the crime scene? We checked, and it indeed it does. Shoot, there goes that theory. Anything else, defendant? It was pretty cold, so my hands were in my pockets most of the way. But I didn't see anyone out of the ordinary the whole way home. So you are claiming you never saw the victim that day? No, not at all. I didn't even know he was dead until they arrested me. It says here the victim was killed by blunt force trauma. Is this right, Mr. Payne? That's correct, Your Honor. Were you able to locate a murder weapon? Yes, but I think I'll give the defense a chance to point it out. Huh? Why me? Because what is a rivalry if only one side lands blows? You don't land any blows, Payne. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I at least want to give my opponent an opportunity to prove himself. Take a look at our win records, Payne, then try that again. But, okay, I'll bite. Let's take a look at the crime scene photo on this monopad. Hey, Kamaru, where are the folders on this thing? You need to unlock it first, Mr. Wright. Just swipe along the bottom where the arrow is. Oh, right, thanks. Oops, that's the wrong photo, Mr. Wright. This is so cute, though. Look at them. The trio tackling everything. Wait. Huh, interesting. I just realized something. Is he wearing, like, a glove or something? What happened here? You know what? Never mind. I don't want to dwell too much on it right now. We'll figure it out. Yeah, this is just a picture of Makoto and some other people. It's dated yesterday. Yep, those are his friends. But here, let me show you where the evidence folder is. I still can't believe we actually got snow yesterday. Yeah, me neither. It was only about an inch, but still, we can clearly see a light coating of it on the ground here. Alright, looking at this photo, it's pretty clear what the murder weapon is. Yeah, I think we know. Alright, can we find it here? Yeah, the weapon here with all the blood on it. Do I have to click present?
Take that!
There we go. As you can all see, there is a bloody metal pipe laying in the snow. I think it's pretty safe to say that this is the murder weapon. Indeed! Do you agree with this conclusion, Mr. Payne? Please stop asking for his approval, Your Honor. He doesn't need his ego inflated any more than it is. Yeah, fair, Phoenix. Ah, yes! Very good, Your Honor! We have concluded this pipe... Wait, what? I was reading that wrong in my head. We have concluded this pipe was indeed the murder weapon. Hey, I was the one who pointed it out. Do you have any proof that my client handled the weapon? Well, no, there were no fingerprints found on it. But that is because we believe the defendant was wearing gloves at the time of the crime. Oh, I noticed that in the picture! Crap. What's his reason for that? Uh-oh. It was a bit brisk outside. Most people I saw walking about had gloves on. Alright, a bloody metal pipe that was found at the scene of the crime. No fingerprints were found on it. Okay. And that's not all, Your Honor. Defendant, did you have any sort of relationship with the victim? Yes. He was a close family friend. I've known him for years. Whoa, is that true, Kamaru? Yeah. Mr. Stoffis would always talk to our mom or dad when he delivered our mail. He even came over for dinner sometimes since he didn't have a family of his own. That's depressing, and the man just gets killed. Sheesh. I see. I'm sorry for your loss. Oh, the defendant knew the victim. Yes, Your Honor. In fact, we have proof in the form of a photograph found inside the victim's wallet. Alright, wallet photo. A picture of the victim standing next to the Naegi family. Press details for more information. I kind of want to get a closer look at that picture. Alright, let me see. Alright, let me look. I need to see that picture. Give me the details. Wait a second. That uniform, isn't that the Hope's Peak uniform too, or am I crazy? You know what? I'm gonna ignore that. But this is really beautiful art. I gotta say that. Wow. The fact that, like, this man just ends up dying too, that's sad. Alright. And then get out of that. I can do that in the court record by selecting the evidence, then pressing the details button. How many people are in that photo? There were 5, right? Because of the family and then, Mr. Stoffis, the victim. Right, but with all that said, I don't get it. You're claiming my client killed a close friend of his family? What reason would he have to do that? Oh my god, I hate his voice. I admit, it is hard to believe. However, we have uncovered a potential motive for the murder. Oh, do tell us, Mr. Payne, what is this motive? Blackmail, Your Honor. Aw, come on. Oh, okay. Okay, I forgot about that. It has been a long while.
Hold it!
What evidence do you have that the defendant was being blackmailed? Oh, behold, Phoenix Wright, your downfall. Note. Not just any note. A note threatening to expose the defendant's secret to his family. Oh, God. What are the details of this note? Can we actually hear about the details? What? But I don't have any secrets. At least, not any that bad, I promise. It's true, Mr. Wright. Makoto's biggest secret is that he wet the bed until 5th grade. And you're just gonna air out his laundry here for everyone else to see? Wow. Hi, Aki bro. Hope you're doing well. But, I think because the plot is very different. With this being a crossover, I don't know if, like, all of the stuff that happened in canon still stuck. That's my guess. I don't know much else. But thank you for stopping by. I did not need to know that. What does it threaten to expose me for? Well, the note does leave it rather vague. But we found it in the victim's pocket. And by simply reading the name on it, we were able to arrest the killer.
Hold it!
We still haven't heard the defendant's version of the story. You can't say for sure he's the killer until we at least hear his side. Oh, I have no objections to that, Mr. Wright. Or should I say, Mr. Wright? That's almost the same thing, Payne, but thank you. Wow, how original. Never heard of that one before. Phoenix is literally me right now. Thank you for subscribing. Hope you're doing well, though, as I said before, and enjoy the stream, too. In 7 years, you couldn't come up with anything better, Payne? Now, defendant, please confirm your name and occupation for the court. My name is Makoto Naegi. I'm a high school student at Hope's Peak Academy. And are you ready to give your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. At least, ready as I'll ever be. I promise I didn't kill Mr. Stoffis. All I know is that after my arrest, they told me about the murder. They said I hit him on the top of the head with that pipe. But I would never hurt anyone, especially not him. What happens now, Mr. Wright? Well, this is usually when I cross-examine the witness. Cross-examine? What does that mean? Should I explain what a cross-examination is? You know what? Sure. Sure. It means I go back through the witness's testimony and compare it against the evidence I have in the court record. If I need to take a closer look at any evidence, I can check the details in the court record too. I can also switch between evidence and profiles and present either one. Once I find an inconsistency, that's when I present my evidence to refute the statement. I need to match the right evidence with the right statement to bring the contradiction to light. But, Mr. Wright, what if there aren't any inconsistencies in the testimony? That's when I need to press the witness for more information. I can press any statements I want by using the press button... What? You know what? I can't read. Excuse me. The Q key or the left bumper. I need to be careful, though. If I present evidence that doesn't contradict the statement, I'll get a penalty. The penalty bar appears in the top right corner. The amount of badges represents how many more penalties I can afford. Oh no! And what happens if we get too many penalties? Don't worry about it right now. Let's just hope it never comes to that. That's what saving is for, guys! Which, that reminds me, I'm gonna save again. There. Okay, I think I get it now. Thanks, Mr. Wright. If you ever get stuck after the last statement, you can consult me, and I'll try and help by showing you where I think the contradiction is. I can toggle consultation in the options menu. One last thing. I can save by pressing the button in the top left corner, escape or start at any time. Alright, this is it. Time to focus, Phoenix. It's cross-examination time. Alright, here we go. What I know. I promise I didn't kill Mr. Stoffis. All I know is that after my arrest they told me about the murder. They said I hit him on the top of the head with that pipe. But I would never hurt anyone, especially not him. Alright. Let's see. All I know is that after my arrest they told me about the murder. Alright, I can't really press anything here. But... Alright, and what did they tell you? Maybe I can press this.
Hold it!
So they arrested you because they thought you were the culprit? I can't think of another reason why they would. Right. So, how did they think you did it exactly? Alright. Alright. Let me check the evidence again real quick. Blunt force trauma to the top of the head. Wait, but if we compare the photos... Hold on, I gotta look at this. How could he hit him from the top of the head when Makoto was so much shorter than him? That makes no sense, does it? Interesting. I probably have to present something, though. Let me check this again. Yeah, that's definitely to the top of the head. Between 4 and 6 p.m.? That's a pretty broad time frame. Let's see. Alright. Alright, let's go back. What would I be presenting here? That's what I need to know, because I feel like I can present something. Actually, wait. Hold on. Can we go back here? Because... Wait, hold on, no, let me go back. The fact that he was wearing gloves in the picture here, you can see it. He's wearing gloves. So is that what we're supposed to be refuting here? Press? I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt to press here either.
Hold it!
Do you know of anyone else who could have done it? Well, no, but... That's because there is no one else who could have done it. You've gotten rusty, Mr. Wright. Look who's talking. You're no spring chicken, Payne. Well, Mr. Wright, did you find any contradictions? Now that you mention it, there was something off about the placement of the victim's injury. And I think I have something that shows why. Then what are you waiting for? Present it already! Press statement 3. Alright, I'll try that. Alright, I'll try this one.
Hold it!
That lines up with the autopsy report. Of course it does. All signs point to Makoto being our culprit. My case is as flawless as my hair. Cap. Whoever's been telling you that, they've been lying to you, bro. I wouldn't be too sure. We have already established the pipe was the murder weapon. But isn't there another part of that statement that seems off? It might not have been physically possible for Makoto to hit the top of his head, though, I don't think. That's what I'm gathering from this. I guess it doesn't hurt to try to present, but what am I presenting here exactly? Hold on, let me go through this. Oh, wait. Let me see. Let's see. Probably the wallet photo. That's what I think. I don't think any of that would be it. I might be overthinking this a bit, but... Alright, I guess it doesn't hurt to try. I have to present something somewhere. So, I'm gonna try presenting this. Can I... Will you let me? Or wait, do I have to do that? What do you mean? I thought I... Do I have to do this?
Objection!
That's not it? Nope. Okay, yep. You're just gonna say all this. I was trying to agree with you. Present the attorney's badge. That would help. Maybe it's to statement 3 then. Because you could present it to either or, I think. I don't know if it matters. The technicality stuff of this game sometimes is a little bit finicky. Instead I hit him on the top of the head with that pipe. They told me about the murder. Okay, yeah, that all seems right. I'm gonna try presenting it here. Okay, maybe I can try that. I'll try what you're suggesting in chat. Because I'd rather get help than just be stuck on the same thing the entire time.
Objection!
Nope. Alright, that doesn't seem to be it either. Okay. Alright. Well, we're gonna try again. No, you're fine, you're fine. Because I'd just be making guesses too. Let's see, they said I hit him on the head. I'm gonna look through the evidence again. Because he was hit at the top of the head. I feel like this picture is very important, though, because of the height comparison. Blunt force trauma. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, this is from the day of the crime. Alright, let me... The thing I'm wondering about is, why couldn't we call the people in the picture as, like, witnesses? That's what I want to know. Alright, we'll try that then. We'll try this one.
Objection!
There we go. I was overthinking it as per usual. That's why these games are always challenging for me. Sorry I'm born stupid, guys. Mr. Payne, you claim your case is as flawless as your hair, is that right? As we already established, no, his hair is nothing like that, Phoenix. Naturally. Well, in that case, I suggest you start seeing a new barber. Yes! Pop off, Phoenix! Huh? What do you mean? This has to be a contradiction. As we know, it's confirmed that the victim died from a blow to the top of his head. But in this photo of the victim and the defendant, we can clearly see that Makoto is far shorter than him. What are you saying? What I'm saying is, if the defendant was this much shorter than the victim, he couldn't have possibly hit him on the top of the head. Oh, that is a contradiction. Whoa, great job, Mr. Wright. That was so cool. Oh, it was nothing. Just doing my job. Although, it is nice to get some appreciation for once. Well, Mr. Payne, do you have an explanation for this? Oh no, that's never a good sign. You may have struck me, Mr. Wright, but I will not fall just yet. I implore you to take one more look at the crime scene. There, you will see exactly how the defendant could have delivered this blow. Let's see. What in this photo indicates a way someone short could have hit someone tall? Oh, you're talking about the boxes, aren't you? Probably.
Take that!
Is this what you're talking about? I'm afraid not. Try again. What do you mean? I pointed out the boxes! Bruh. Or do I need to do it for you? No thanks, I'm good. Wait, I think I see something in front of the body. Could that be it? Alright, what in this photo indicates a way someone shorter could have hit someone tall on top of the head? What do you mean? I thought that was literally the only way because I see this here. What the hell is this? What shows how Makoto could have hit someone on top of the head? I pointed at the boxes. I am so confused. Maybe I was just in a weird spot? The footprints? Is it really the footprints? Oh, wait, actually, I'm looking at these again. Because when you brought that up, I wanted to take a look. Wait, no, but wouldn't there be snow on him? I'll try presenting this, but I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it.
Take that!
Are you talking about the knee prints in the snow in front of the body? That's weird because wouldn't it still be wet or like, you know what? Maybe I'm overthinking it. I am overthinking everything, guys. Precisely. I admit, it's impossible for someone the defendant's height to strike the victim as described. But what if the victim was kneeling when the killing blow was dealt? Ah, that would explain how it could be done. Knee prints, okay. Clear, clean knee prints in the snow, located right beside the victim's body. For some reason, it did not click like that. Okay. Oof, that's not good. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any objections now? Let's see. Do I have any objections now? I'm assuming we do, because we need to defend him, right? Probably, yeah. Of course I do. There's something totally weird about that. And what would that be? The thing that's wrong is he would still be too tall. There's no reason to kneel. There was no snow at the time. I'm thinking there's no reason to kneel, but it's like the snow is also a very important part of it. Let me check something. The placement's weird. Alright. Yeah, I don't think it's the first one. There's no way it's the first one. There's no reason to kneel. There was no snow at the time. Actually, there shouldn't have been snow at the time, right? Because it only started snowing during the night? Or am I just misremembering? I'm second guessing myself. There was no snow at the time of the murder, so these knee prints couldn't possibly have been left. Yeah, okay, just give me the penalty and move on. I thought it started snowing after the crime, though. Am I misremembering the testimony? Shoot, let me try that again. Alright. Yep, I'm fumbling. Yeah, there's probably no reason to kneel then. That's the only other thing that makes sense here. You claim that the victim was kneeling when he was struck. But why would he be on his knees in the first place? Oh, that's a good point. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems our battle is not over yet. Once again, take a look at the crime scene photo. I'm really starting to hate that thing. Yeah, I'll save. Alright, hold on. Okay, there we go. If I may direct your attention to the area of snow behind the victim. You will clearly see signs of a struggle left behind in the snow. As pictured, the victim's mailbag was open on the ground. This further proves there was a fight between the victim and the killer. Yeah, I already noticed that. But it's good that we're taking note of it. So perhaps he fell to his knees in the struggle. That's exactly right, Your Honor. After an intense battle with the victim over the blackmail note, the defendant pushed him to the ground and struck him on the head to silence him forever. No, I would never do that. That's not what happened at all. It's the only logical explanation.
Objection!
No, it's only speculation. Can you debunk anything I have said, then? Yeah, totally. Mr. Wright, you aren't bluffing, are you? What? Me? Bluff? Never. Even Kamara's like, yeah, I don't believe that. Okay, maybe a little. Yeah, I know. Thank you, V. Mr. Wright! Don't worry, I've got this. I'll turn it around. Somehow. Wait a second. Mr. Payne said Makoto killed Mr. Staffis because of blackmail, right? Isn't there something huge that contradicts that? Oh, that's right. Thanks, Komaru. Wow, I feel like a real attorney. Your Honor, if the defendant really wanted to silence the victim, there's a piece of evidence that should never have been found at the scene. Oh, and what is this evidence, Mr. Wright? Okay, what should not have been there? Let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna go through these. Head empty moment. That's where I'm at right now, guys. Let's see. Trying to think. Because I can't even remember what the original question is. I'm just trying to figure out... Actually, let me see something. I don't know if this has anything to do with it. Yeah, maybe not. Alright, there we go. You think it's the blackmail note? I'll try that. It doesn't hurt.
Take that!
The blackmail note? I believe you have it backwards. That note incriminates the defendant in the crime. I'd beg to differ. Actually, I'm gonna save again, real quick. If Makoto really wanted to erase all evidence of blackmail to the point he'd commit murder, why would he leave the most incriminating evidence in the victim's pocket? Oh. Yep. Ha, serves you right, Payne. Well, maybe he didn't know about it. Then how would he know he's being blackmailed in the first place? Perhaps the victim simply threatened him verbally. Then why would he write that ambiguous note? Everything you've proposed so far is merely circumstantial. And the only evidence pointing to the defendant makes no sense. You have no proof Makoto was even at the scene of the crime. Wonderful. Order! Order! Oh! Ho ho! Oh ho ho! Uh-oh. Did I break him? That's where you're wrong, Mr. Wright. I have something that does prove the defendant was at the crime scene at the time of the murder. Oh no. I don't like where this is going. Well, that makes things easier. What is this proof, Mr. Payne? A witness. Someone who saw the defendant in the alley just before the deed was done. How convenient, guys! Then, what are we waiting for? Call this witness at once. Oh, this guy. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Jitaro Akafuku. I'm a salaryman. Pleased to make your acquaintance. What a polite young man. I'm sorry to distract you from your work. Don't worry about it, Your Honor. It's no trouble. Justice must be served, after all. I'm adjusting my plans accordingly. How admirable of you to be so organized. Sussy, 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 sus. But of course, I have rescheduled my day, taking into account the mail routes and TV. My estimation is that this will be over in time for my magazine delivery as I tune into the 12 p.m. news. But that's only half an hour from now. Exactly. I've even accounted for a probable bus delay based on past traffic patterns. Very impressive. Now, is it true you witnessed the defendant at the scene of the crime between 4 and 6 p.m. yesterday? It is. Please testify to the court about this experience. With pleasure. Here we go again. Ready, Mr. Wright? Ready. Spotting Makoto. Okay. I was walking home yesterday evening, around 4:30 p.m. On my way, I passed an alleyway and happened to look over. There, I saw two people talking, a mailman and that boy sitting in the defendant's chair. I didn't think anything of it at the time, of course. But when I heard the kid was arrested, I knew I had to let the police know what I saw. So, you see, the defendant was undeniably at the scene at the time of the murder. Uh-oh, this isn't good. If what he says is true, Makoto's pretty much a goner. Is there any proof other than this account that Makoto was with the victim at that time? As a matter of fact, there is. Behold. Some thread. Not just any thread. These are glove fibers found on the victim's clothes. Okay. We suspect they got on the victim during the struggle.
Objection!
How does this prove Makoto was the one who fought him? After questioning his family, we discover that the defendant is known for wearing this color gloves. Is this true, Kamaru? Yeah, Makoto's gloves are red. Still, that in itself is a pretty flimsy argument. Countless people were wearing red gloves yesterday. Even one of my subordinates did. I didn't. My hands were freezing yesterday. I couldn't find my black gloves anywhere. I admit, alone it isn't much, but coupled with everything else we know, it's only another nail in the coffin for Mr. Naegi. Wait, I just realized something. Kamaru made a comment that kind of, tipped me off. What if Makoto, by mistake, grabbed her gloves, or he was in a rush and grabbed Kamaru's gloves? Because in the picture, I could have sworn those gloves were black. I'm cooking a little bit. My brain's finally working, I think.
Hold it!
Maybe someone else came and altered the crime scene before the police arrived. I'm afraid that's quite impossible. There were only two types of footprints found at the crime scene. One was proven to be the victim's, and the other was unidentified. If you couldn't identify it, how do you know they were the defendant's footprints? Because the defendant was at home when we arrested him. He had plenty of time to change, or even destroy his shoes. But what we do know is that only two people were at the scene, the victim and his killer. It feels like every time I try to get out of this hole, I'm only digging myself deeper down. I'm afraid I'm inclined to agree that all signs point to the defendant. It is unfortunate, but sometimes people simply don't plan things all the way through. Mr. Wright! He has to be lying! There's no way he saw Makoto with Mr. Staffis. I sure hope you're right. Okay, let's do this. I just have to find a contradiction in his testimony. Somehow. Yep. I'm gonna save, here. Alright. Alright. 4:30 p.m. There, saw 2 people talking. I didn't think anything, but when I heard the kid was arrested, I knew it. Alright. Alright, I need to check something. What time was this picture taken? Does it say? No? Okay. But yeah, his gloves are black. They're not even red. First off. But, alright, what can I press here? Press statement 4. Alright.
Hold it!
So they weren't doing anything suspicious at the time. They were simply talking, although it did look a lot like an argument. If only I'd known it would lead to something as abhorrent as murder. So you didn't intervene at the time. Neither of them saw you? That is correct. So the struggle between the victim and killer must have happened after you saw this? Precisely. Then that boy must have violently shoved the victim down to his knees and delivered the killing blow. Again, with the height thing, that's a little weird, but okay. Something about that strikes me as odd. Should I have it added to the testimony? Add it, yeah. Mr. Akafuku, I request that you add your last statement to your testimony. A waste of time, but alright, I'll indulge you. Alright, let me look at something, because the fibers, they were found on the victim's body. But if you look at the photo, you can clearly tell those are black gloves. So I'm assuming I would present that here then. Alright, I'm gonna save first, because I have been really unlucky. Present knee prints on the new testimony. Okay.
Objection!
Let me get this right. You claim that Makoto shoved the victim to his knees in the struggle. And then killed him with the metal pipe? Don't make me repeat myself. It adds unnecessary time to my plans. But yes, that is what I'm saying. Well, I claim that's impossible. How so? If we take another look at the knee prints found at the crime scene, I think you'll notice something rather strange about them. You don't mean... Oh, I do mean... Those knee prints are as clean as a whistle. There's no way they were made as a result of being shoved to the ground. What are you saying? I'm saying that marks this clean could have only been made intentionally. By someone kneeling down of their own free will. But are you not the one who said the victim had no reason to kneel down like that? That's right, and I still stand by that. Which means the only person who had a reason to kneel down at the crime scene was probably the killer. That's what I'm thinking, the killer. Obviously, the killer knelt down by the body after the murder. That's the only way someone could have left such clean prints in the snow. That does seem like the only option, but why would the culprit do that? Why? To tamper with the scene, of course. They probably wanted to remove all the evidence. Mr. Payne, for once, I completely agree with you. The Payne slander. We love to see it. We love to see it. So you finally admit it. The defendant is guilty. That's not what Phoenix was saying. Open your ears a little bit, or do you need to clean them out? I never said that. Take another look at the evidence we've gathered. All signs point to Makoto being the culprit from the note to the glove fibers. However, if he really was the killer who knelt down by the body to remove all traces of evidence, why would he leave such obvious things at the scene? Yeah! Very well then. Your Honor, if I may, I would like to propose my observed rebuttal to this absurd point. Very well. I don't see why not. Does the defense have any objections? None at all, Your Honor. All right, now we're getting somewhere. Bring it on, Mr. Observant. Jutaro's theory. Okay, here we go. I understand you think the boy would not have missed such obvious clues. However, which is more likely? He is innocent, or you are overestimating his intelligence? There are no other suspects. There are a number of things that point to him, and him alone. That red-handed killer was caught red-handed. I'm afraid I have to agree with the witness, given the circumstances. Without a direct contradiction, there is too much that lines up to doubt the defendant's guilt. This doesn't look good, Mr. Wright. Tell me about it. We can't actually disprove any of this evidence, and without it, we can't challenge the claims. Does that mean we've lost? It's over? No, but I don't know what else we can do. We can't give up. I won't. Please, Mr. Wright, I know I'm not as smart or as talented as you or Makoto. But I can't lose my brother. Komaru. There has to be something. I feel like there is. I'm just not sure what. I feel that same way. There's got to be a contradiction, because I believe in my client. Komaru's determination proves it too. So if he's really innocent, there must be proof somewhere. At times like this, I just need to turn my thinking around. Instead of asking if there's evidence of Makoto's innocence, we need to assume there is and go from there. I just need to look over everything one more time. Even if it seems irrelevant, I can't overlook a thing. Okay, Phoenix, this is it. If I don't find a hole in this testimony, it's all over. The defense may now begin the cross-examination. And I'm gonna save again, just because... Alright. I understand you think the boy would not have done blah 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 blah. That red-handed killer was caught red-handed. No. Because, wait. I'm gonna be extra sure here. There's no way it was red-handed! It's not physically possible! What do you mean, bruh? I'm gonna present it, and if I need to, I'll just... I don't know, just... Yeah, that was just proving what was found. Wouldn't the picture prove that he didn't have red... You know what? I'm gonna do it.
Objection!
Mr. Akafuku, I'd like to thank you for knocking some sense into you. You're quite welcome. Oh my god. I see you finally realize what a waste of time going around in circles like this is. Very inefficient. Oh, don't worry. What I've got is something concrete as can be. If the court could please take a look at this picture. Oh my, what a lovely photograph. I think so too. I see Kyoko, best girl here. How wonderful to see the youth of today displaying such camaraderie. Indeed, Your Honor, but that isn't why I'm showing it to you. This picture was found on the defendant's tablet and was taken just hours before the crime. And what is it about this picture that contradicts the testimony? I'll show you. This is what contradicts the statement. Yeah, this is what I've been pointing out for a while now. My brain likes to jump around and do stupid things.
Take that!
If we take a closer look at this picture, I think we can all see a glaring inconsistency with our current knowledge of the case. What are you... No, wait. Oh, I see now. Could it be... That's right, Your Honor. Makoto wasn't red-handed at all, because his gloves in this picture are undeniably black. Impossible. They were red. They've always been red. This can only mean one thing. If only 2 people were at the scene of the crime, as we've proven, and the killer's red glove fibers were found on the body, then Makoto couldn't have been at the scene. Yup. Order! 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 But, Mr. Wright, what does this mean? It can only mean one thing. Makoto isn't the killer. Then who do you propose is? There are no other suspects. No one else was even involved with this case.
Objection!
That's where you're wrong. There is one other person. It all lines up now that I think about it. Someone who planted all the evidence to frame Makoto, even going so far as to deliver the condemning testimony themselves. Your Honor, the defense would like to accuse someone else for the murder of Mr. Post Office. Oh my! Murder is a very serious charge, Mr. Wright. What do you mean? What do you mean, man? Alright, I'm saving because... Again, not taking chances with that. I implore you to think carefully. The penalty will not be light if this accusation is unfounded. Understood. Our real killer has to be...
Take that!
Mr. Akafuku, you said earlier that the defendant's gloves are red. Is that correct? Of course it is. I saw them myself. I admit, Makoto's gloves are red. His own sister confirmed that to me earlier. Aha! So you admit it. He was the one who touched the body. He was the one who killed him. Quite the opposite. In fact, I believe I know who did. There's only one person who had reason to be so sure that Makoto's gloves were red. To even go so far as to wear the same color gloves when committing the crime to frame him. Someone who planned everything perfectly, who observed every detail in advance. And who had no reason to lie about the glove color except to cover their own tracks. Mr. Akafuku, you're the only other person involved in this case. It could only have been you. No, that's not... Then how did you know the defendant's gloves were supposed to be red? Inconceivable! Perhaps it was a lucky guess, or he simply got the color mistaken.
Objection!
He himself claims to be incredibly sure and observant. Yup, I was just thinking that. I'm like, he just sounded way too confident in that answer. And after seeing how detail-oriented he is, I find it hard to believe he'd mess up something so crucial. Which means there's no way he actually saw Makoto that day. It's all one big fat lie to cover up his own crime. How interesting. So you truly insist on wasting more time? I don't think it's a waste at all. We've already proven only 2 people were on the scene. Quiet. You're just going to put your foot in your mouth and... that's it. The foot. If you'll permit the return to a previous topic. Why are you so sure the other set of shoe prints aren't the defendants? Am I sure of that? Are we sure that they're not the defendants? Is that what they're asking? Or are they asking for... Wait. I mean, I don't know if there is any way to be 100% certain, but... I'm gonna... I'm gonna say definitely. Yes, because... Mr. Wright, don't tell me you're bluffing again. Not this time. There is something. I just need to figure out what it is. Okay, if Makoto's innocent, that means the prints aren't his. And to prove it, we need to examine... I think the size is what's more important, maybe? But the pattern might be important, too. Let me check something. It might be the size. Yeah. I'm gonna go with size. I request the court examine the size of the shoe prints. The size? But why? Because there's a correlation between shoe size and height, is there not? And these prints are basically the exact same size as the victims. I find it hard to believe that someone as short as Makoto would have the same size feet as him. Which can only mean that the killer and the victim are approximately the same height. Order! I will have order! And if we use Makoto as a comparison, we can see that Mr. Akafuku fits that criteria perfectly. You insolent lawyer! You're so sure of yourself, aren't you? You think you can discredit my perfect, flawless testimony? I think not. Oh, yeah? Then what am I missing? Motive, of course. That is true. The witness had no clear reason to murder the victim. That's right. I'd never even spoken to the man. Why would I want him dead? Shoot. Well, it certainly seems that way, but... Think, Mr. Wright. There has to be something the victim has had that Mr. Akafuku would kill for. Literally. She's right. I've come too far to back down now. Given the state of the crime scene, we established that there was a struggle that ended in the victim being struck and murdered. If there was no previous connection between the two people, then whatever the killer wanted had to be physical. And what do you propose this was, Mr. Wright? There's only one logical thing it could have been. What evidence shows what the killer must have been after? Doesn't the mailbag kind of explain it?
Take that!
I'm pretty confident about that. Mr. Stoffus was a mailman, correct? And his mailbag was found open at the scene of the crime. That's because it fell in the struggle. I'm gonna save again, though, just to be sure. There we go. That's what we all assumed. But look at it again. Doesn't it seem a little too neatly open to have been an accident? Consider this. What if the killer opened it themselves? But why would they do that? Simple. To retrieve whatever was inside. That would explain it. Mr. Akafuku, you've proven to this court you never let a detail slip by. If you wanted something inside this mailbag, I don't doubt you found a way to track the package. Didn't you admit earlier that you track mail routes? Oh, he did! Wow, this man just outed himself. You likely confronted the victim, and his refusal to hand over the bag led to a struggle. It was then that you saw the metal pipe and decided to force him to abandon the bag. By taking his life. Yep. Man's about to break down. Murder me? How foolish. It's over, Mr. Akafuku. Just admit that... What? Okay. It's not over. I refuse to accept this. Somewhere. There has to be a... there. There's a conflict in your schedule. Argument. Your Honor, I'd like to testify as to why the defense's claims are utter lunacy. I don't see why not. Proceed, Mr. Akafuku. I've got him backed into a corner now. I can't let him get away. Alright, I'm gonna save again. That picture may show the defendant with black gloves. However, we have no idea why he wasn't wearing his usual color. It could have easily been a trick to throw us off. From whom would he possibly obtain black gloves like that? Without answering that, your case is as flat as paper. Alright, Phoenix. This is it. If I can just come up with this one last explanation, it'll all be over. I know the last puzzle piece is here somewhere. I just have to put it in place. I believe in you, Mr. Wright. Finish this for my brother and for Mr. Staffis. The defense may now begin the cross-examination. I think that point I brought up earlier is about to come into play. Alright, I'm gonna save again. I'm gonna be very, save, happy or whatever. From whom would he obtain? Let me go back. Couldn't I present Komaru here? I probably could. Because she made testimony earlier saying that she wears black gloves and she confirmed that Makoto has red gloves. Also, wait, listen, this music. That is good. It's the debate scrum music. But, like, Ace Attorney style. Nice. But anyway, I'm gonna present Komaru.
Objection!
Wait a second. There might just be a place, or rather, a person. Someone who told us earlier that they just so happened to be missing their gloves yesterday. I didn't. My hands were freezing yesterday. I couldn't find my black gloves anywhere. Yup. And that person was Komaru Naegi, the defendant's younger sister. Since they're siblings, both have easy access to each other's belongings. My guess is Makoto couldn't find his gloves that morning and decided to borrow his little sister's. That's why his gloves were black that day. Oh my, I will say, as far as siblings go, that's a more than likely scenario. Still! You have no proof that they steal from each other like that. That's only speculation! Actually, I'm glad you brought that up, because proof is exactly what I have. Impossible. There's no possible way. Then allow me to convince you. This is my proof that Makoto and Komaru have access to each other's things. Isn't it the tablet? I think it's the tablet. The monopad.
Take that!
My, what a fancy contraption. Is this what kinds of gadgets the kids are into these days? It's not just a gadget, Your Honor. It's a monopad, a school-assigned tablet that belongs to Makoto. If it belongs to the defendant, how did it end up in your hands? It was lent to me by Komaru Naegi herself, who took it from the defendant's room. No. Way to go, Mr. Wright! As you can see, the siblings can, borrow things from each other easily. So that explains why Makoto had black gloves instead of his usual red ones. No. But you, Mr. Akafuku, didn't know this. You likely discovered the defendant and the victim's connection and studied them both well in. You did this to be able to frame Makoto for murder, should you need to resort to killing Mr. Staffis. Which ended up being exactly what happened. You kneeled in front of the body and planted the blackmail note in his pocket, leaving behind fibers of the red gloves you intentionally wore. And you almost got away with your perfectly planned crime. However, there was one thing you couldn't plan for, no matter how hard you tried. The unlucky chance that Makoto would be wearing different gloves that day. Yeah, that is quite luck-based. In a way, that did work for Makoto, but that's ironic. Pure irony at its finest. And yeah, this is the expression of a man that's just been caught. Well, Mr. Akafuku, do you have anything to say for yourself? Luck. That's what it came down to? My perfectly perfect plan, foiled by luck? No, there must be a way to fix this. Oh, he's just rambling on. Yep, I'm just gonna let him go. Oh, I like how all the papers just say guilty. Love that. That's a nice touch. Well, this has certainly been an unexpected turn of events. Mr. Payne, what has become of the witness? He's been arrested, Your Honor. Upon further investigation, he was discovered to have been a part of an underground ring of thieves. And there was indeed an incredibly valuable gemstone missing from the victim's mailbag. The police will be searching the witness's home, where they suspect it was taken. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems you've done it again. Thank you, Your Honor, but I couldn't have done it without the help of my assistant. Komaru! Huh? Me? Indeed. Excellent work, both of you. In light of recent events, I am now ready to hand down my verdict. This court finds the defendant, Makoto Naegi. There we go. Not guilty! Court is adjourned. January 14th, 12:36 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 5. I can't believe it! You did it! You actually did it! Thank you! Thank you, thank you, thank you! Yep, no sweat. I was only making buckets of it back there. Mr. Wright, can I ask you something? Did you really mean what you said earlier? Huh? In the courtroom, about me being helpful in solving the case. Of course I did. Without you, we wouldn't have had the final evidence we needed to prove Makoto's innocence. Really? Definitely. Here, let me show you. If you hadn't borrowed this item, this trial may have ended a lot differently. Is it just gonna be the monopad again?
Take that!
Huh? The monopad? This had that picture of Makoto on it. And without you telling me about your gloves, I might not have made that connection. Do you mean it? I don't go to Hope's Peak like my brother or anything. I'm just a normal high school girl. The little sister to someone special. Of course I mean it. What school you go to doesn't change the fact I couldn't have done this alone. Don't let some title hold you back. Your actions are what counts. At least in my book. Thank you, Mr. Wright. I'm glad you're our lawyer. You know what? Me too. Komaru! Makoto! Aw! I meant it when I said I couldn't have done this without Komaru's help. It was her determination to save her brother that led to this outcome. This is why I became a lawyer, to help people like them. Komaru, Mr. Wright, thank you so much. Anytime, Makoto. I'm just glad everything worked out in the end. I'm going to tell everyone at school how incredible you were in there. Really? At Hope's Peak? Of course! My friends are going to hear all about it. Wow, thanks. I just hope he leaves out the bluffing part. For your sake, I hope so as well, Phoenix. Speaking of, I think this belongs to you. Oh, my monopad! I figured you'd want it back. I can delete all the evidence on it before you go. Actually, I want you to keep it, Mr. Wright. Huh? Really? Are you sure? Yeah, I can get another one from school. Think of it as a thank you for helping us. Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. Wait. Yeah, maybe I should keep this thing somewhere really, really secure. I'm sorry I took it, Makoto. It's okay. Sorry about your gloves. You should be. My hands were freezing, Makoto. I thought you had a spare pair. I lost it a few weeks ago. How was I supposed to know that? I'm still telling Mom. Oh, hey, wait. And with that, my first case involving the students of Hope's Peak Academy came to a close. I went back to the agency with a smile on my face. But little did I know that this wouldn't be my last meeting with Makoto Naegi. Because sooner than anyone expected, that school would be the center of another incident. How interesting. Well, that's case 1 all done. That was really, really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed that. And V, thank you so much for your help throughout the trial. I was having huge brain fart moments at in the very start of it. I needed help a little bit at the beginning there especially. But I'm really excited to see more cases come out. I do know it's been about a year or two since this came out, so it could be a bit longer before any sort of update with case 2. But whenever it does come out, I'm gonna play that as well and stream it here for everyone to see me completely fumble at. Very well written case, I'd say. Everything tied all together pretty neatly, I'd say. In terms of what I'm gonna be streaming next, that is undecided as of now. I'm gonna take some time to think about it. I might do an Insta-Rampa, I might, find a different video series. We'll see. When you see the premiere page, you'll know. But with that being said, I think it's about time I wrap up stream. So to everyone that stopped by and watched, thank you so much. I appreciate every single person that stops by and watches me completely fumble and be an awkward mess. I really, really, really appreciate it. And again, thank you, V. You're one of the best people ever, seriously, if not the best person. But, I'm just about done for now. I will catch you all next stream. Bye!